Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 191. I am Ryan. I'm joined by my brother Chris and our good pal Katrin, and it's a roundtable, so you know what that means. Animator Ray Chase is back here with us.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Yes, it is a roundtable. We're going to be talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And there will be tons upon tons of spoilers. So, spoiler alert.
Episode 191. It's the same going forward, going back.
Yeah. So if you listen to this one backwards...
It is a round table.
Yeah, if you listen to this one backwards, it's going to be the same.
It's more evil.
Thank you to everybody on YouTube that's watching us on the live stream right now. If you're listening to this later, join us on the live stream. We have fun in the chat with the people in the chat. And we're going to have some fun tonight, I think. We're going to dive right in, I guess. There's some news, but we could just probably dive right into this. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. So, Falcon Winter Soldier, for those that don't know, I don't know why you'd be listening to this.
Hey, people like us.
Yeah, I have no clue. I'm here.
Anyways, for those that don't know, it's following the events of Avengers Endgame. Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience.
Our patience or their patience?
Their patience. Yeah, that was from IMDb. I thought that was
a lot of us watching them be patient.
Yeah.
That works.
True.
So basically, this takes place supposedly after the events of WandaVision, right? That was right?
I thought it was before.
It was before, but then they switched it. So then I think they said, okay, well, actually, it takes place 6 months after. I don't know. It's so confusing because they've switched it. Because this was supposed to be the first show that came out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
For Marvel, and then the pandemic hit, and then they shifted everything around, which changed stuff up, I think, for WandaVision and changed stuff up for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we're going to get to that later.
You would think someone would go like, hey, did you see that thing that happened to Wanda? Man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Throw it in there.
Unless Wanda comes after, it's so confusing the way they've done it. You know, you can read 3 different articles and they'll each tell you something different.
I think there was a couple of times in the show where they made mention about, since everyone came back X number of months ago, or it's been, 6 months since everyone came back. I don't remember exactly what they.
I think I remember 6 months like that, like you do.
Yeah.
Anyways,
the key is it's after the event.
It's after Endgame. Sam
Not
has
before.
the shield.
That's really all that matters at this point.
Yeah, Sam has the Captain America shield, and the Captain America Steve Rogers is like, this is yours now.
Yeah.
And you should be Captain America. And then we open the show.
Don't give it away.
Yeah, don't give whatever you do. Don't give the shield to the government.
If you do anything.
No, seriously, I will keep it if you don't want it, or you're just gonna, just toss it. Like, I can keep it. And Bucky's over there. I mean,
we'll give it to him. I mean,
he would be great.
I got a nice swanky place up on the moon I'm going to. Like, I can put this on the wall up there.
He did fake everybody out though, because at the beginning, right, he's getting ready to go to Stark's funeral, and he's like, "Yeah, I got the shield. I'm going to carry it with me. I'm never leaving it. It's never leaving my sight. I'm even going to carry it at the funeral. That's how much it means to me. Funeral's over. Get rid of this thing." Wham it down.
He saw Stark's heart floating away on the water. He's like, that gives me an idea. Toss it away.
I know it's just a show and there's a plot and everything, but did he really think? I mean, how could you think that? Oh yeah, if I give this shield that represents this important figure, just give it to the government, they're just gonna do what I tell them to do with it.
He's watched a lot of Indiana Jones, and just in his head's like, it belongs in a museum.
Well, I felt like they I took it as like they bait and switched him because they had the case and all that. Yeah. Like, it really belongs, in the Captain America wing, and we can sell more merchandise if the actual shield's here.
Yeah.
And then, because they never really explored what should have been his outrage. That they told me they were putting it in the Smithsonian, not giving it to Chris Street.
Yeah. Gave it to me. Discount Captain America. That's me.
Man from Up.
I'm disappointed, Chris. I was actually hoping that you would have, when we started talking about John Walker.
Yeah, I looked online at some of them. They're all really expensive. So
we could have probably found you a cheap one on.
I just got a blue bag and just tied it over the top of my head.
Work.
Which
art.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let's just go over overall thoughts of the show. Like, not getting into detail, just sort of your overall, what you thought of this as being basically the second TV show in the Disney Plus Marvel Universe era.
Sure.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Or error.
Yeah, or era.
Error.
Who would like to go? Anybody? Nobody likes to go? Then
I mean,
I can go.
I don't care.
Here goes
We
Chris.
usually let the guests go first.
We can let Ray go first.
I don't have to go
Is
first.
Ray really a guest now, or is he he's just one of us?
Might just a problem that keeps
He's
showing
that
up.
uncle. He's that uncle that just comes to visit.
Hey, you kids around that round table? You know how I like that round table. Make room. Make room.
I got this thing. I just need a little bit of financial money, just my way, and it's gonna hit big.
It's gonna be big, fellas. Just real fast. I mean, I enjoyed it. I didn't feel. I mean, whereas WandaVision, there was a little bit of kind of stringing you along, and Mephisto. It felt more like sort of like an action show.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that there was a lot of surprises or shocks or what have you. And I enjoy the two leads. I've always liked both of them, so it was kind of cool seeing them kind of being able to be in their own element and sort of headline a show, just the two of them. So it made me want to watch more. I was leading up to the finale when they were like, "Oh, we haven't heard anything about a season 2." I was like, "Serious? How can you not?" Yeah. This seems like it could run for 7 years or something. I mean, it could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be my point. Is like it was such a different show from WandaVision, right? So it's just kind of like, oh, well, this looks like a normal show, and it is fine. It's great, and it has a good story, and there's a lot of development, and it felt like it should be a lot longer than it was, and it's like, this is only 6 episodes, and they're going this deep into these things, and it was good. Like, I would, if it was on for a full season, they used to, it would be on for months, like the good old days. Yeah. Then I could see that happening, and it could go on and on. It's a buddy cop show, right? So we keep calling it, and but I liked it. I mean, it is just different than what we've seen before, but again, like a lot of people said, it's back to being like a Marvel movie. It's similar kind of feel to that. Whereas WandaVision was different than a Wanda movie, right? A Marvel movie.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, saw that coming.
Perfect.
But no, I like you guys. I enjoyed it. I was ready to watch it every week. It still overall just felt like I just one of those things. I just wanted to sit down and just watch it from beginning to end. Like if it was a movie, I think I might have liked it better because there was some stuff I think it could have been trimmed down and it could have been in movie format and just been fine. But I still had fun with it. Still enjoyed it. I love the Falcon and Winter Soldier actors. They're really fun to watch. They're fun to watch their interviews together. If you've ever watched their interviews on YouTube and just look up their interviews, they're really funny. They just play off each other really well. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I liked it with Chris. Like Chris said, I think I would have liked it better if it was a movie. Because again, these characters, I mean, Winter Soldier is one of my favorite Marvel movies. So it's sort of continuation of those characters. So I really love that. I think that if it came out first before WandaVision, I would have liked it more. Because WandaVision was so off the wall and so had you thinking every week, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen next? And it went from that to back to this formula, and you're sort of like, okay, there is no surprises anymore. It sort of feels like, okay, there's really no surprises anymore for the Marvel. What you see is what you get. You're not going to be surprised. It's not going to be this shocking reveal. It's just is what it is, which was not bad, but that was the one thing I liked about WandaVision. Every week I was like, I want to see the next one because I want to know what happens. But even though it ended up with not having any big reveals, it felt like there was going to be a big reveal. This show, it wasn't until episode, I think 4, when I was like, I can't wait to watch the next episode. Because the build-up seemed to take longer than it should have to get to certain points. And we'll talk about that later, about why that may have been the case. But yeah, so
I actually enjoyed that I didn't have to worry about any big reveals like going
that
online.
Was nice.
Yeah, because I mean, I think we talked about it before with WandaVision. We all felt a little burned by what different actors had said and this and that and the others. So expectations were running high, and there was a little bit of some disappointment because it was kind of like, I gotcha, bait and switch, and I didn't feel like I was ever being bait and switched by Falcon Winter Soldier. And even though I was like, I can't wait to watch next week's, and I don't want to see anything online the day of, it was never, oh look, it's Reed Richards, or something like that, which was kind of nice. It was just like, it's just a show I can tune into. I don't have to get all worked up about it. Or
I think the only time that happened during the show was the episode before Elaine from Seinfeld.
The Contessa?
Before the episode before she comes on, somebody was interviewed and they said, yeah, there's going to be this guest star on it, and it's somebody that this character, I want them to work with Thor in something. And I'm like, who? What is this going to be? This is work with Thor? What? And then it shows up and it's her, and I'm like, well, I don't understand. Why do you want this character with the Thor character? I don't understand.
And maybe the actress, like working with like.
No, they were talking about the character.
Taika Waititi would be. I know. I'm just saying, like that. That would kind of make sense. Her in a Taika Waititi movie would be funny, but
no, for the Valentina Allegra De Fontaine to have some kind of thing with Thor, I don't understand what that would be.
Yeah, she showed up, and I was like, I got to go to Google. I don't know who you are.
Well, supposedly she is in Black Widow, and that's where we were supposed to see her first. But because Black Widow keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and I still don't believe it's actually coming out until I actually see it. It doesn't make sense. And I think Black Widow being delayed so long has messed up a lot of stuff in the MCU.
Widow.
Maybe it will just help make everything make sense. I mean,
maybe you're like, oh yeah, that's why I was so confused about that and that show.
Yeah.
That show.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
It comes out when? When does Black Widow come out?
July, I thought.
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be funny if in like Loki, there's this big thing about Black Widow, and you're just like, I don't understand this at all.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, what's going on? I think there is a scene where he's going to be with Natasha. I think I saw something.
It looks that way in the trailers, but then I've heard different things.
Okay. We'll talk about Loki some other time.
This isn't a Loki roundtable, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right. The good, the bad, and the ugly of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So what did you like? What did you not like? And what were you just like, oh, gosh.
I think we can all agree that
No,
the scene
gosh.
with the boat
Yeah.
Yeah.
is probably what we didn't like because it just didn't make sense that they kept going back to. You kept thinking, okay, there's going to be something that happens with this boat. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
What made it really funny is coming from WandaVision, where the two visions have the scene about the ship of
Theseus.
Theseus, and then going right into this with a boat, and you're just like, that's funny.
Well, I'm just thinking the Vision was able to buy a house, and the Falcon can't fix up a boat. Like,
yeah, I didn't like that little.
But I mean, it was a heartwarming story.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's fine otherwise, because like I said, it's like a Marvel movie. There's real things happening, but it was just weird.
I get how it ties into the greater storyline, because it kind of brings all the themes home to him, but at the same time, it doesn't just quite make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Because I liked it at the beginning. It went on too long. I mean, because it was kind of interesting. Because I liked when they're trying to get the loan, and they've done this in the comics before, where Peter, he's out there being Spider-Man, he's being a hero, but he can't pay his rent, he can't, he can't feed himself because he's not getting paid. So I thought that was kind of fun when he's like, was Stark paying you when he was alive? And it's like, yeah, you saved the world, but I mean,
But at this point in time,
how are you collecting a check? And it's like, oh well, we kind of do it on goodwill. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, he has so many friends on his phone that he could call and be like, "Yes, you're a billionaire. Can you just pay off this old fishing boat for me?"
And
how much money? Oh yes, I have that in my pocket right now. I mean,
and the fact that he just came off of a government mission that. Pretty sure he would have got paid for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he should be getting paid now.
Yeah, it's like he's going on all this like government sanctioned kind of missions. Like they should be funding him in some way, and probably a pretty hefty amount if he's. And they're like building his wings out and stuff. They're like fixing them and doing all this stuff for him. I think he works for somebody. I don't know.
It's like I liked it at the first episode or second episode, because I like seeing the human side of these heroes. It's not all sitting around Avengers complex waiting for the next emergency. So it was kind of nice to see a little bit of that with Sam. It was nice to see a little bit of that with Bucky. But then I just kind of felt like they just kept coming back to the boat for like long stretches while super soldiers are running amok, and it's just kind of like, guys, how long are we going to shellac this boat? Get back out there. Come on.
That was the episode of they should have called montage, right? Because it had the montage of the boat, it has the montage of him exercising and throwing a shield. I think there was another montage it's just like montage. Episode, was it 5 or something? I don't know. All right, so that was the ugly. Was there any just bad you just didn't care for?
If there's necessarily anything else that was just kind of like,
Yeah.
Ugly
and bad kind of overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of on the Flag Smashers. I wasn't like, they're really cool bad guys. And it was like, well, you're sort of questionable and you are murdering people, so I don't know how bad I feel for you. And
they are. I think technically the definition of a terrorist. But
but
don't call them terrorists. I thought that was funny. Like, wait, hold on, isn't that the definition of a terrorist? But I think a lot of that, which we'll get to in a little bit, I think there was more to learn about the Flag Smashers that was cut. That would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
If we had that part in it.
If they had shown, if they'd like done like a flashback with them or something at the beginning to show their reasoning for why they were doing this, maybe it would have played into it a little bit better. But they just kind of like jumped straight into it. They're like, "Yeah, we're mad because they got food, we don't."
I think that was part of the subplot. That subplot, I think, is part of the reason why they're doing what they're doing. And Disney, Marvel, whoever said, we're cutting that because of the times we live in right now. And it just sort of, because that's why, we'll get into this, that's why WandaVision came out first because there was so much re-editing and cutting and stuff that they had to do for this show that it couldn't come out because it wasn't ready because they had to redo half the show.
I did like the whole idea of the repercussions of the blip. I mean, that was I thought that was kind of interesting because it's like, something horrific happened and the world moved on. And 5 years later, hey, look, we brought everybody back. And it's like, oh, well, that's awesome. But we've all kind of grieved and recovered. And now, people that we thought were gone are now suddenly back. And it's almost like, in a way, it's like if that really happened, imagine the emotional roller coaster, people would be on. If you had loved ones that, were gone and you spent so much time trying to get over that and move on with your life. In some cases, maybe moving on would have been to remarry and so forth. And all of a sudden, boop, hey, your wife's back. It's like, I don't know how to feel. It's just like, wow. It's like we thought we were doing a good thing. So I don't know. It was kind of interesting from that regard.
And I wouldn't call this necessarily bad, but the fact that Sharon Carter was the power broker.
Whoa.
Okay, what?
Oh my gosh!
She never specifically said that she was the power broker. She is the power broker, though.
Yeah, she's in the area. But it was like I never wanted to say she was a power broker because it just seems so obvious. Mm-hmm. And I was like, nah, maybe it's this or this, because it was just like so just in your face, like, yeah, she'll probably be the power broker.
It's got to be a red herring.
And the fact she was blipped away, and it's been 6 months, and in that 6 months, she became like completely jaded, hating like America and everything.
Maybe she wasn't actually blipped away.
Worked her way to the top.
That's true. Maybe she's a liar. Chris.
Maybe she was like Ant-Man, who... He wasn't blipped away.
Just in hiding. They just didn't find her. I mean, it could be.
That would be a good excuse to gain all this power to say, oh yeah, I was blipped away, so nobody's going to suspect me to be the power broker as I amass this empire.
If that happened, but more likely.
Yeah. But I called it. I was like, she's going to be the power broker.
Overthinking it. Yeah, that's overthinking it again.
Yeah, I remember texting you though and saying, I think she's going to be the power broker, and you were like, "No, she's not going to be."
It seemed too in your face, and I was just like, I want there to be a twist. Like
I knew there wasn't going to be a twist though, because it's like they're not doing twists anymore. Because I don't know if they think that we're just
Festo.
Yeah, there's no twist. I like twists. I like my stuff to have twists. It makes you think.
Well, you mentioned Ant-Man, and I was almost going to text Chris this, but leading up to the finale, I so wanted him to be in the finale. I mean, him and Sam have history and all, and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if like Ant-Man had like a small part in the final episode? That'd be so cool and unexpected. And
maybe he was there, we just couldn't see him.
It's true. he's big.
Yeah, he's just a little tiny.
He was there.
If you look at the water bill in scene 435 on the in the very corner, you can see him Ant-Man walking across the water bill. All right, good. Let's get to the good. What was your favorite scenes, favorite parts of the show?
Not all at once here.
I'll start. My favorite part of the whole show was Zemo. I thought he was sort of the star of the show to me because every scene, he basically stole every scene that he was in. Whether it was serious or funny. Like the scene where he backs into the bathroom while that fight is going on was the funniest scene of the whole thing. He's like drinking his tea and just backs into a bathroom while the Wakanda soldiers and, the fake Captain America and everybody's fighting. He's just like, I'll just see my way out. I mean, I don't know. And then, of course, him dancing was hilarious. But I want to see more of him. Like, I want him in the future to be in more stuff because the actor was great. And it was, you didn't know exactly what side he's on. Like, he turns, like, when he was talking to that little girl, showed his character a little bit. He's like, okay, you see these guys over here? Yeah, they're the bad guys. I'm giving you candy. I'm the good guy.
I'm giving you horrible, horrible, nasty candy.
Yeah, don't let anybody, don't tell them anything. Just tell me because I'm your friend. I mean, the character, I liked that character the best. I think that was my favorite character of the show.
Read a lot of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and thought Turkish Delight was a good thing.
Yeah, not that I didn't like, Sam or Bucky because I love those characters, but Zemo, I thought the scenes that he were in, he stole the show. And then when he meets up with his butler, I thought that was hilarious. He's talking to them, if the food's bad, give it to these guys, type thing. I just thought he was my favorite part of the show.
That was a nice surprise because I wasn't expecting it to be a three-buddy film for a little bit there. I kind of figured he was going to get broken out of jail. He was going to be pulling on the strings, and that's Zemo. He's the bad guy. And I was like, oh, well, this is not what I was expecting. This is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, working on his own in a way. And so it was nice that he was paired with them. I liked it. The actor's great. Like he did a really good job.
Yeah, and the hour-long dance cut, Zemo dance cut, or whatever, is pretty funny because there's a lot of scenes that he filmed dancing that weren't in the show, and they put them together. So pretty hilarious to watch.
I enjoyed just seeing the Falcon the fight scenes with the Falcon where he used the jetpack to do things and to make certain moves happen. It was just really neat, and you really got to focus in on how he fights, and I mean it's just his show really. But when
he put those wings down on the ground behind him, that was so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, especially when he got his new suit because he really took the shield and made it into his own fighting style.
Yeah,
which is really cool, and the fact that it could take the brunt of a helicopter falling on him and bouncing off.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty good.
I thought it was funny though that the Wakanda made him this awesome suit, and the one piece of his body that needs protecting the most, and I know it's from the comic books, but it's let's not put anything around his brain. Let's just leave that part open in the suit. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Nothing.
They did give him smokes though, because it looks like he has packs of cigarettes in his shoulders.
After a fight, you want to relax a little bit.
They could have gave him an Ant-Man type helmet thing that comes over his when he goes into battle, it comes up.
Gives him freedom of hairstyle.
All your heat goes through your top of your head, so it keeps him cool.
I was kind of wondering, in the future, if it may turn into a breakaway Wakanda Black Panther sort of something, because it seemed like whenever Steve imagine at the end when Sam's giving his talk and his speech, if that was Steve Rogers, his whole thing would have been off, and you would have seen his face and blah 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 blah, blah, but he still got the goggles and the thing and all that, and if it was more of a
that'd be cool.
kind of thing that could come on and off, then you could have something maybe a little more fight practical, and be able to peel that back to talk and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I know a lot of people hated him, but I liked John Walker.
Because you look like him?
Because I look like him.
Yeah.
And it made me believe that I could be a horrible Captain America as well.
Once he wasn't Captain America anymore, I liked him.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. That's the sign he's.
That was the point.
He's doing a good job. You're supposed to
love him. I hope he stays Captain America forever. Disappointment.
I liked hating him.
Sure. He did good. He did a good job at that.
Somebody, you guys were mentioning Falcon with the fights and the flight and all of that. I feel like at the end now that he's Cap, it's I said this to my son when we were watching it. I was like, he's kind of like a part Iron Man, part Captain America now. He's kind of the best of both things because he can do all this cool flight type stuff, and he's got all the techno stuff, but then he's got the shield, and he's doing awesome Captain America stuff. So he's a little bit of both, which is kind of cool, and without the super soldier serum, Tony.
I was gonna say he's a normal person.
Yeah, he's just a normal dude. He gives us all hope.
If I have a cool suit like that, gives me hope.
If I can do a flip. I
could do a flip.
Yeah. The first episode, I thought the effects, the very first episode, I loved all the aerial stuff
Oh yeah,
with Falcon, and they kind of bookended it nice with the final episode too. But I felt like they spent some cash on that, and they made it look really good. While at the same time having them do some stuff we hadn't quite seen before, like we were talking about, which is cool. I mean, like I said, an Iron Man like character. I mean, I like characters that can fly around and do all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of a fun something, which they could have gone on the cheap and just been like, oh, there'll be like one action scene in the first one that's real short. He'll do something cool, jump out a window, wings, and then we'll save the rest until the. But man, they went all out. They went all out.
They did.
At the beginning.
Yeah, all the effects. Yeah. Over the course of the thing were really good. That reminded me of Batroc the Leaper.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I like that character, and I like they brought him back. I wish they hadn't have possibly killed him. You never know. You never know. Yeah, he could be coming back.
Maybe he leaped just to the left so it didn't hit a vital organ.
Yeah, he's like, okay.
I did find it hilarious that Zemo put his mask on to shoot two guys and took it off and never wore it again.
Yeah,
but what's the point? I don't want you to know it was me.
Winchester in the comments said he really enjoyed Bucky making amends.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, that was
I would have liked to have seen the talk though with the guy, because when he goes to the door and they were doing the build up and he once again sees the picture, I was like, man, this is going to be some like a heavy moment. And then it was like door closed, good talk, bye. I was like, what? Was he pissed? Was he angry? Did he start beating on your arm? And
what you didn't see, he just started crying just uncontrollably, and Bucky just didn't know what to do, so he just went snapped his neck and just went.
No, he sees him in the place.
He was crying uncontrollably. I can't. He's like, oh my gosh, Bucky, just calm down. Just calm down.
All right, let's get to some characters and stuff. You mentioned the Leaper or whatever his name is. That's the only person I didn't write down.
The Leaper.
So in the opening scene with him, was he working for Sharon Carter then?
No, I think that was a totally different
thing.
It was a totally different mission thing. That was just something that he was doing, and I mean, it could have been a possibility because she knows him and his contact. But I mean, she would have known him from her Shield days as well. So
right.
So we talked about the Power Broker a little bit. I think there was more. I think in that subplot there was more to that with her and the Flag Smashers. I think they probably went into that a little more. Let's see.
Do we think that she's going to sort of tie into Armor Wars?
That's what
they suggested. That hey, all the secrets of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I guess she's going back to S.H.I.E.L.D. Are we going to see S.H.I.E.L.D. again? I don't know. But now she's got access to all of the secrets that she plans on selling.
Well,
is some of that going to be Stark tech? I don't know.
Supposedly, the end credit scene was originally different. They cut part of it out. I don't know if we can go into that right now if you want.
Do tell.
Mm-hmm. This is just a rumor, but this guy is basically that sort of told, put this out there, has put stuff out before and he's been right, and I guess works closely on Marvel stuff, I guess. That's okay. So supposedly this is just a rumor. Okay. Mm-hmm. It cuts to that outside scene where she's talking on the phone to somebody. Blah, 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 blah. And instead of it ending right there where she goes, and we got all this tech now and all this stuff, it cuts to who she's talking to. And it pans up, and it's Norman Osborn.
Bates.
Really?
Uh-huh.
And this was supposed to be a tease for the next Spider-Man movie. Because it was William Dafoe as Norman Osborn. Which sort of makes sense because the weaponry that she gives to the Leaper, if you notice it, it's all lit with green lights, green smoke. It's all this. It looks like something that he would make. Oscorp would make. Supposedly, that was going to be like a big reveal that he was coming back as Norman Osborn for the next Spider-Man movie. And then because of the pandemic and because of the scheduling switches and all this stuff that happened, that part was cut out, and they're just going to save it for Spider-Man when it comes out. That he will be revealed then. And supposedly this was, I don't know about this part, but supposedly it pans to him or cuts to him, and then it pans out to outside of the building, and you see Oscorp, but it's in Avengers Tower, and he's the one that's bought Avengers Tower.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Since so they're in our universe.
Well, that's the thing I'm not quite sure about, because like the
guy, this is just a rumor.
The guy that's coming back as Dr. Octopus. He's coming back. He's apparently just started talking. He doesn't really care. Just started talking about his role in Spider-Man. That his character is the character from Spider-Man 2, and we pick up with him like directly after that, and he somehow survived, and they're doing the CG thing to his face to make him look younger. That's what he said.
Interesting.
To people. So that makes me wonder about him playing it. But then we also had the guy that plays J. Jonah Jameson playing the same character.
Yeah. So that's the thing with the multiverse. Well. I think the same person could be the same person in different multiverses, but he's a little different. And does that make sense?
Yeah. I do hope that I would love it if Sharon Carter was in Armor Wars, and at the end of that she dies, she gets shot, she falls down, and then turns into a Skrull, and that leads into Secret Invasion. I'd love that to happen. That'd be cool. Because that's kind of what happened in the comics, but it was with Spider-Woman. Oh no! It was with it was with the Contessa. That's who it was.
It's the Contessa.
Seinfeld actress.
Lame.
So I mean that like she could die in the future, and that could lead into Secret Invasion.
There you go.
I kind of hope that Sharon Carter's a Skrull, though. I think that would make the most sense for her character on why it's changed so much. But
maybe, yeah. I do hope Defoe's in the next Spider-Man.
I'm getting a little worried about the next Spider-Man. There's a lot of people in the next Spider-Man.
That'd be cool if they brought him.
Well, the third movies of Spider-Man. I mean, they're awesome.
Yeah, jam as many characters in as they possibly can.
Yeah,
possibly go wrong.
I don't know. Because I mean, there's rumors about Chris Evans possibly coming back in some capacity, which I'm thinking multiverse. He's going to show up as some, alternate version of Captain America. But in which movie? Because there's so many movies that are dealing with multiverse now.
I saw that he might be doing another What If story.
Oh, that'd be great! I can't wait.
Supposedly, Ryan keeps saying the word supposedly, so I want to use it too.
Supposedly.
It's just a rumor.
It's just a rumor.
I don't want people to be going, "Oh, you're done. You're wrong."
They're going to do another What If episode where what if Captain America? What if Steve Rogers became Spider-Man?
Sure, why not?
Why not?
As long as he's as huge as Captain America,
Captain Spider-Man.
He's like flip. Somebody took the picture. This is off. Side note. The comic book cover picture of Captain America, and he's like super huge with a super big chest.
Rob Liefeld.
Somebody made the Falcon Captain or Sam Wilson look like that, and it was so funny.
I think it was Boss Logic. If you go on his Instagram, Boss Logic, it's the Rob Liefeld cover from Captain America. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Have you seen a human person before?
No, he had not.
Apparently not.
He doesn't understand chest width, and he doesn't understand feet. He can never draw feet. He just covers them up with smoking rocks. So,
all right, let's talk about, because we haven't talked about it yet. Let's talk about Isaiah Bradley and this sort of subplot of the show. I loved it. I loved Carl Lumbly. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name.
Martian Manhunter.
From Alias. He was in Alias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So good. And I really liked how they did this, that he's still around, basically hiding out. It shows you that when you're a super soldier, that even when you're old, you can still launch stuff in the walls. Yeah, so strong and everything.
Yeah.
I loved how they did it. I liked that they gave a little hint at another new Avengers in that too, the Patriot.
Yeah.
That was cool with was it his grandson or what?
Grandson.
Great grandson?
Just grandson.
Just grandson? Yeah.
Oh, he becomes the Patriot?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy the kid that lives with them.
Yeah, the Young Avengers. They've introduced a lot of Young Avengers now.
Eli Bradley.
Yeah, he's Patriot, and then in the Hawkeye show, the girl that becomes Hawkeye, she's in the Young Avengers, along with Wanda's 2 kids. They're part of the Young Avengers.
Okay.
And Miss Marvel, I believe, is going to be one of them.
Joaquin Torres is in the comics becomes the next Falcon, and he was basically given the old beat up wings.
Yeah.
This show, so maybe he goes and fixes them up. Hopefully, I don't know. I hope that they actually use these characters, and they're not just be like, "Here's a little nod, but we're not going to do anything with them."
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Ant-Man's kid becomes Stature.
Yeah.
The Avengers. So yeah, they've got this build up to all these characters that they do something with.
Well, that's why, like, as it was ending, and knowing, okay, now John Walker's U.S. agent, and they're stuck with Sharon Carter. I was like, how can they not do another season? I mean, it just seems like you're putting you're lining up all your pieces, with like little bits of cliffhanger here, a little bit of cliffhanger there. It's like, how can you not? 'Cause, I mean, for the weeks leading up, it was like, will there be a season 2? And everyone's like, no one's talked to me about a season 2. And I was like, you guys just being cheeky, because it's like you change the title of the show, you have all this stuff happening.
Yeah.
And then what happened, Ryan? Then what happened? What was the news that came out?
Of what? Oh, Captain America 4?
Captain America 4. I was like, I guess that's what's going to happen next.
Yeah, maybe.
And I saw that for Captain America 4, Sam Wilson, the guy that plays Sam Wilson, didn't hear about it until he was at a grocery store, and a cash register person congratulated on him, and he's like, "What?"
He's like, "Is this true?" And he was like,
I had something about Eli Bradley. Just back up just a minute.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought it'd be cool. I thought it would be cool because in the scene where they take Isaiah to the museum, and they show the section. It's a really cool scene. Everything okay?
Your audio got really weird.
Yeah.
Is it back?
You went all Max Headroom on us.
Oh, is it okay now? Am I good?
Yes.
Okay.
Museum.
Anyways, it's fine on my end, so I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I should have left.
When they take him in there, which was a very touching, moving scene, I loved that they added that in there. That if there had been something like, remember in which Captain America, where they go in and it's got the mirror thing where you could put your face in it, and it shows Captain America's outfit. If they'd have done that with Eli, and it sort of gave that extra little nod that he has this vision in him that he wants to be, a hero, as in the Patriot.
That'd be cool.
That would have been so cool to fly. That would have been sort of the end thing that moves on. That would have been cool. Because I was like, oh, that would have been so cool. Because they did that in the other movie with Steve Rogers, right?
It was a soldier's uniform, but it was really small.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that would have been a nice little touch. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think is the plot for Captain America 4? Where do you think they're gonna go from here with this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mephisto.
Is it? I mean, do you think Bucky's going to be along for this, or is this going to be a whole new thing?
I would think so. I kind of feel like, I think they were talking before, right, about how some shit. There might be some shows or some stories they do on Disney Plus that are a series that then become movies that then go back to being a series. And I think this is sort of an example of one of those things that they're planning, where you had this show, the series with the two of them starting as a 6 run on Disney Plus. Maybe they'll Captain America 4, and then maybe Captain and the Winter Soldier will be on Disney Plus again, and then they'll do another movie, or you know what I mean? I'm just wondering if they're just going to keep jumping back and forth from short format to long format to short format. But it will be interesting because it seemed like the relationship between Cap and Bucky was sort of through line of the 3 movies. So is that now going to continue? Is it going to be more like the relationship between Sam and Bucky, which it seems like they got it all worked out? We're buddies and we're cool with each other now. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just going to be like another typical action film where there's some world crisis that the new Captain America has to solve. Or
it seems to depend on like when it's going to release, because like they've got so much stuff lined up. Like there's so many, especially like this next year. It's like every month there's going to be like a Marvel thing coming out.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where they're going to fit this in. Like it could be like years from now.
Yeah,
before they make a sequel to this.
Who knows when Captain America 4 will be out? Because it's not in. They haven't this is the year it's coming out.
Yeah, they haven't. I mean, they said they haven't really done any casting or anything yet. It's just all sort of like, hey, this is something we're going to do.
I wish they'd have changed it to Captain America and Bucky or the White Wolf or something, because he's not the Winter Soldier anymore. He crossed all the names off the list. He's done with that, but they left him as, well, you're still the Winter Soldier to us.
It's just a cool name.
Yeah. Can't be cooler than that.
Here's another thing, because I wrote down all the main characters or main actors and the characters they played. This is something that I found funny. Most of the characters in this show went through multiple names during the show.
Oh.
Yeah, so there you go.
You had the Falcon, Sam Wilson. So it's Falcon, Sam Wilson, then Captain America, or vice versa. The Sam Wilson part. You had Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, White Wolf. All 3 was his names. You had John Walker, Captain America, U.S. Agent. You had Carly. Well, first she was a Flag Smasher, and then she's Carly. You have Sharon Carter. Then Power Broker. Then Agent 13 or whatever she.
Yes,
because they said
they said before Agent 13.
Yeah. You had Baron Zemo and of course Dance Machine because.
Oh yeah.
Is he credited as Dance Machine?
No,
he should be.
You had Battlestar, Lamar. I mean, we didn't even talk about Battlestar. Poor guy.
Battlestar. Didn't know what hit him.
Right, literally.
Yeah, literally. But I just thought that was funny. The main characters, basically, each of them had like 2 or 3 names.
Well, you forgot a name for Sam Wilson. Smiling Tiger or whatever.
Oh.
And Black Falcon.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say.
Oh, no. I was going Smiling Tiger.
Tiger. So they all had like these multiple names that they went through. Which is sort of
Uncle
funny.
Sam, that was one.
Sam, yeah,
makes sense.
I thought that Bucky flirting with Sam's sister was hilarious.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that was great.
Pretty great.
You think he did it on purpose, right? Well, I mean, like, to really just kind of mess with him. I mean, he may have been attracted to her. I'm not saying he wouldn't be, but
yeah.
Especially
but I think it was more to just mess with him.
Yeah, just like at the end where he's sitting there talking to her or whatever, standing there, and like he's got all the kids on his arm.
Yeah,
holding them like, yeah, I can do this, no problem.
I laughed out loud. I thought that was a great moment. That was awesome.
Yeah. He came in with a cake and sunglasses on.
Yeah,
they're probably like, hey,
I checked everything off my book list.
There was a cool connectivity to the Marvel universe that I thought was kind of cool with the guard showing up from Wakanda.
Yeah, that scene was so cool.
Zemo being on the raft at the end, and it was like, I recognize that. That's cool. All all this stuff that we've come to recognize or have seen in previous movies, and or revisiting them in ways that sort of make sense and are kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Thunderbolt would show up on the raft because he's basically in charge of the raft. Thunderbolt Ross. I thought he would show up and talk to Zemo or something.
That would have been cool.
But Zola didn't show up either. I won't go into that.
Oh yeah, your other train gang
they're all
never left the
apart.
station either.
A Power Broker train gang came through though.
The most obvious one.
Yeah, the most obvious one came through. All right, let's talk about this subplot that got cut. Can we do that?
I want to know all about it. Ryan.
All right. So there are parts in the show where stuff happens and then it just disappears completely. And you're like, what happened with that? Like, where did that go? Like when one of the first times that, I guess it was the first time that Sam and Bucky sort of come to blows with the Flag Smashers. They jump on that back of that truck. Bucky says, there's a bunch of vaccine in here. There's a bunch of vaccines. And they're like, oh, there's still all these vaccines. And then it was never mentioned again. There was another couple things like that were just sort of thrown out there and then never mentioned again. So it was confirmed by Malcolm Spellman, who was the creator, head writer of the show, that there was a big subplot that was supposed to happen that he loved. It was one of his favorite parts of the show, that he hopes the writers will actually write a book about it and put it out. That was cut by Disney / Marvel, somebody, and they were told not to talk about it. The only thing that would make sense to me and some other people, like we've seen on YouTube and stuff, is that it had to be some kind of virus, because they wouldn't want it to be, a virus. Oh, look at there. So, which would make sense, because there was a lot of overdubbing, a lot of cutting away when people were talking, and you could tell their voice changed a little bit, like they voiced over some stuff. With Mama Danya, she's a well-known actress that they laid on a table and covered up with a sheet. So I think that she played a more important role, and I think that maybe whatever this virus was is what killed her, and it wasn't tuberculosis. Because they cut away during that scene, and it was like, and she got tuberculosis. And so
it could happen.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So I think that she played a bigger role. Maybe she was the head of their crew, the Flag Smashers, and then she died from this virus, or whatever it was. Maybe she was working closely with the Power Broker. We don't know, but there was a subplot that was, I think, would have tied the show together a little more and would help us understand what the Flag Smashers were doing a little more.
Yeah, I guess they would be using like a virus to basically pull a Thanos. And
well, I don't think the Flag Smashers. I don't think the Flag Smashers had the virus. I think something caused this virus because of this, the way the world has become back with all these people, and they were saying, that's why they were showing all the vaccine to save their people.
Okay, I read in my head, because I didn't look into it too much, but in my head, I thought it was them going to be trying to release a virus. They took all the vaccines so they could give it to their people, and they were going to try and pull a Thanos and deplete the population.
Maybe,
again.
That could be plausible too, which would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's why we got a lot of boat scenes.
Yeah, they just shot a whole bunch of that footage. They had plenty of coverage, and they were like, "Good news, we're using it all."
Mm-hmm. That boat actually belonged to one of the producers, and they just wanted it fixed up. So, just have them fix it.
Sam working on the engine. Sam polishing the boards. Back on the engine. Forward. Back on the engine.
So
it's character building.
Yeah, so pretty much that's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I enjoyed it. I'm ready for more.
Did you guys like with the credits? Because we started noticing like that pretty early on. That in the credits, and they would show like images of stuff and this and that. Like in the credits at the end, you could see a vial of super soldier serum. You could see a picture of Isaiah when he was young.
Yeah.
You couldn't make out the writing and stuff. It looked like it was like from like his file or something like that. And and it was interesting because then there'd be stuff at the beginning when you watch it, first episode, you're not sure what you're looking at. But then as some stuff the plot starts to move along a little bit, you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's the thing in the credits. They've been showing it to us like since day one.
Yeah.
Which was kind of fun.
That was just Zemo's like wall art, like him just doing collages of like.
That was the epilogue. It was his scrap of his adventure.
Yeah.
My time with Sam and Bucky.
Yeah. It's like, I had such a good time. I made this collage.
So fun.
So this is gonna move.
Are we done with super soldiers, you think? No more super soldiers? Another 70 years, another 50 years?
I'm sure they'll bring him back somehow. They blew him up, or the butler blew him up. The butler did it.
And there's somebody like scraping blood off of the wall or something.
It was interesting that the police officer that put him in there said "One world, one people," like he was, with them, and then they all got blown up. So I don't know. I'm sure they'll bring them back somehow. They always come back. The super soldiers.
It's comic book movies. They've got to have people that are super strong.
Yep. Zemo has to have somebody to try to kill off.
So Steve Rogers dead on the moon. They talk about him in the show like he died.
Yeah,
like he rang him up one day and was like, "Guys, just wanted to let you know I'm out." Steve, you still have the shield, Sam? Yeah, I do.
I think I heard that they filmed a scene with him, but they cut it.
Yeah, there's supposedly a scene with him and a scene with Florence Pugh. I think that's her name from Black Widow. That's going to be the new Black Widow. Yeah. Supposedly there was a scene with her and probably like a separate scene with Steve Rogers, but they're both cut.
Really?
Yeah.
She's apparently going to show up in Hawkeye, I think. At least I think she's listed on IMDb.
That makes sense. Because that would be... Hawkeye comes out when?
Hopefully after Black Widow, so we know who these people are.
Yeah. I don't think it's been necessarily the date's been put on the schedule, but they've said 2021. But I think they're done filming.
Oh, are they?
I think so.
Yeah, hopefully after Black Widow. It just comes out next week. Surprise! Okay.
We got tired of hanging on to it.
All right, so the next Marvel show is going to be Loki, which comes out in June. You guys excited?
June.
You guys excited about that?
Super excited.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Love some Loki.
Yeah, that show, just the trailer looks like it's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, it kind of works out. I mean, if you did have WandaVision and Loki back to back, it'd be like, this is the new thing, right? It's
wacky.
Well, WandaVision was supposed to be like in November.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Something crazy.
I'm very, even though we haven't watched a single episode, I'm very excited that they're already saying, yeah, we could do a season 2 of this.
Yeah.
Hey, because I don't want it to be 6 episodes and no more Loki ever.
Yeah.
So,
is it going to be short as well? Is it going to be 6 episodes? Do we know?
It's supposed to be 6.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. And I think there's going to be long stretches of him working on a boat.
A space boat.
A flying boat, yeah.
A space boat.
Floats.
And a lot of carving on it, like Viking carvings.
Carving.
A lot of Owen Wilson.
Working on it.
A whole show. It's just Owen Wilson eating a taco.
It's going, wow.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Is this your boat? Wow.
Wow.
All right, so that sort of wraps it up on Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Wrap it up.
Looking forward to Loki. Any final thoughts before I think we've covered everybody and everything.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So just a little news. Tomorrow, Dano from the Dano channel, he's been on the show before, is dropping an episode with me. So we're gonna be. I'm gonna be on the Dano channel. We're gonna be talking about my kyber crystals that I've been making, and It's gonna be fun. So probably in the morning sometime it'll drop, and then if fingers crossed, if you want two of me in one day or 3 of me in 1 week.
Ooh.
That's a lot of right.
I know some people in the comments. Some people in the comments don't want that at all. But that's fine. They can be confused. If I have time, hopefully everything works out. I'm going to do a live unboxing tomorrow night, probably around the same time that we usually do the show. I know Chris will probably be down and out. Katrin, if you want to join me, you can. You don't have to. But I have the Mandalorian Black Series helmet that is still sitting here in the box.
Ray's going to be there.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to do a live unboxing tonight around the same time that we usually do stuff, because really it's just easier to do a live stream than for me to record it all and do everything. So I'll be on. Katrin, you're welcome to join me. Ray, you can come too if you want to. But I'll be opening that. We can talk in the comments about the helmet, and I'll give sort of my review of it and everything. I took the tape off, peeked inside, and it is wrapped in paper. It's all nice looking, so I'm excited to get it out and take a look at it. So I'll try to do that tomorrow night live on the air.
We did a live unboxing last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Right, you missed that one. We did another Star Wars helmet that Chris got me for my birthday. Yes, it's the Captain Cardinal.
Captain Cardinal, everybody's favorite.
Yeah. Ray's like, who's Captain Cardinal?
I know. I was like, I Googled that one too.
Are you serious? Captain Cardinal?
The Captain Cardinal?
Not Captain Carl.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Captain Cardinal. From Galaxy's Edge.
The Galaxy's Edge series. Or book.
Not actually at Galaxy's Edge. You can't go there and see Captain Cardinal.
Good.
Which I don't know why they wouldn't. They have these walking around. They would just have to paint one red.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all they would have to do. I mean, I could do it for them.
For a price.
I got couple of spray paint cans. Anyways, so tomorrow, Dano channel, check that video out if you can. Come back here tomorrow night, hopefully, fingers crossed, and I'll do a live stream with the unboxing because I really want to get that helmet out of that box. I can just wear it around the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It even comes with a light. So I'm like, I need to go in this dark room to get something. Just put my helmet on.
It'll be darker.
Put the dark helmet on and then turn
the light on.
Genius.
This is the way. I got my light on.
Yeah, this is the way.
Oh, it's this way. Over this way.
Stumble, crack.
Yes.
Anyway, so thank you, Ray, for coming back on.
Of course.
I'm sure when Loki finishes, we'll do another one of these. You can come back on any time. You don't have to wait that long, but
yeah.
Maybe next week we can do a little bit of Mortal Kombat since.
Oh, so I don't have to be on next week.
Yeah, you don't have to be on next week.
Okay.
Me and Katrin did a show a couple weeks ago. Looking forward to it. We watched it.
Yep.
What did we think? You'll have to tune
in.
Anyways, this has been episode 191 of I Am Geek, and we'll be talking with you next week or sooner.